Okay, next here to enlighten us from Earl of March, please welcome Lucas Granzotto Martin. Someone loves it.
Hello, everybody. I'm Lucas Granzotto Martin, like you guys already know. I am here today because I want to talk about hip-hop. Now, I want to talk about hip-hop today because I believe that it is a culture that is highly misunderstood. Many people may think negatively about hip-hop because of things they may have heard or seen in the media, and also because of the lifestyle that the media says hip-hop promotes. Now, I'm not here today to make all of you fall in love with hip-hop. I just want to educate you guys so you guys know what hip-hop truly represents and what it's actually all about. So with that being said, what is hip-hop and how did it start? Hip-hop started in the 1970s in South Bronx, New York. Now at this time, the South Bronx was devastated. It was filled with worn down buildings, the streets were filthy, and it was filled with poverty. The South Bronx was a terrible place to live. Now, as you see right here, this picture is what the South Bronx looked like in the late 1970s. So, in the South Bronx, there was tons and tons of gangs. And what do gangs do? They fight. So there was tons and tons of gang violence in the South Bronx at this time. But eventually, multiple gang leaders realized that what they were doing was totally wrong. And they held a peace conference. And at this peace conference, they all swore that they would never hurt each other ever again. They wanted to stop the violence. And after this peace conference, there was a man named Africa Bambaataa. He was part of the Black Spades gang. And he took his gang and he turned it into what we call the Universal Zulu Nation. Now, the main focus of the Universal Zulu Nation and hip-hop altogether is peace, love, unity, and having fun. I want you guys to remember this, because this is what hip-hop truly represents. Peace, love, unity, and having fun. Now, hip-hop wasn't created by adults. It was created by kids and teenagers, like you and me. It was an outlet for them, because they came from violence and being in these gangs. This was a positive way where they could put all their energy. So, going on from there, what are the 5 elements of hip-hop? The 5 elements of hip-hop are DJing, MCing, b-boying, graffiti, and knowledge of the culture itself. So what is DJing? Many of you have probably heard this term before. DJs were the ones who played the music at all the parties, because this is what hip-hop was at the beginning. They just held parties where people could go and have fun. So basically, what's a dance party without any music? It wouldn't be a very good one, in my opinion. So these DJs were an essential element to the hip-hop culture, and they also gave birth to 2 other elements of hip-hop culture, MCing and b-boying. So what's b-boying? B-boying is the original cultural dance of hip-hop. Now the B in b-boying has 3 meanings. It can either be boogie boy, Bronx boy, or break boy. B-boying is also known as breaking, or the term that the media gave it, which you guys might know it as breakdancing. So where did the term breaking come from? Well, the DJs at the parties usually played funk music. So all these songs had an essential part in it that was called the break. So this is where the beat would break down and be something like this. Something like that. So, yeah. So that was called the break of the music. So the dancers that danced on the break were called breakers, or b-boys. So that's what b-boying is. And from DJing, there also came the MC. So while the DJs were busy playing all the music at the parties, there was the MC, who was pretty much the host of the party. He kept the crowd involved, and he kept it interesting. And these MCs, to keep everything interesting, made up rhymes. This is where we get rhymes like, throw your hands up in the air and wave them all around like you just don't care. Rhymes like these came from MCs. That rhymed. Anyways, these MCing eventually evolved into what we call rapping. So, that's what MCing is. And now we get on to one of the most controversial elements of hip-hop, graffiti. Now, there's constantly debates going on whether graffiti is art or vandalism. Well, truth is, it's both. Or, to be more precise, it can be both. Now, graffiti ranges from amateur scribbles all over public property to beautiful murals that are pleasant to look at. So, on one side of the argument, we have angry property owners who think of graffiti as criminal damage lacking artistic ambition. And don't get me wrong, they have a right to be angry. I wouldn't like it if someone came to my house and started spray painting my walls without my permission. And on the other side of the debate, we have the people who accept graffiti and look at it as skill or as an art. And even when graffiti has been done on legal walls, it has been accepted by the general public. So, now we're on to the fifth and final element of hip-hop, the knowledge. So basically, I'm going to start with this question. How can you represent something you know nothing about? It's kind of hard, right? So, you have to do your research and actually know the culture and what it represents to truly represent the culture. So, it's kind of sad because lots of people who are influential, especially in the rap music industry, haven't done their research and don't know what hip-hop truly represents, which, like I said before, is peace, love, unity, and having fun. This is a big reason why there's a misunderstanding with hip-hop, because these very well-known rappers do not know what hip-hop truly represents, and they don't know the message that real hip-hop is trying to get across. But real hip-hop still does exist. You just have to search for it. This goes to my next point, which is the media and real hip-hop nowadays. So, the media only, what I've seen is that the media only promotes the negative sides of hip-hop. And when I look at hip-hop, I look at it as peace, love, unity, and having fun, as I've said over and over again. But what the media wants to do is they want to control the mindset of the general population. And what they want to do is, I'm very sorry, I'm drawing a blank. So the media wants to control the mindset of the general population. So they feed us the negative sides of hip-hop. And they realize that hip-hop has the power to build and uplift communities and change people in a positive way. And when you get deeper into hip-hop, it forces you to become more educated about yourself and the world around you. Now, how can you control the mindset of a group of people that are educated about themselves and the world around them? It's kind of hard, right? So, so what I think about mainstream hip-hop, I don't really call it hip-hop. I like to call it pop, because it's what's popular, it's what sells. And the media sells us things like sex, drugs, alcohol, and money, which I see as the exact opposite of what real hip-hop represents. Now, this leads to my next point. Real hip-hop still does exist, you just have to search for it, because like I said, it's not promoted like the negative sides of hip-hop. So examples of real hip-hop nowadays. We have Battle of the Year in R16, which are 2 international b-boying competitions. We have the DMC World DJ Championship. We have graffiti artists such as Gary, Duz, and Soffles. And there's plenty more graffiti artists like these guys. There's also the Ultimate Rap League and King of the Dot, which are 2 very, very well-known underground rap battles. So, to this day, hip-hop is being used for good. So ways that hip-hop is being used for good is we have organizations like Hip Hop for Hope, Hip Hop for Help. We have Project Uganda. We have Unity Charity, which is based in Toronto. And we also have Blueprint for Life, which is based here in Ottawa. All these organizations use hip-hop to build and uplift communities and change people in a positive way. Hip-hop has also done amazing things in my life because it's given me many opportunities to travel and meet new people. I've made countless memories with these people, and I'm always learning from myself and from the world around me. So, like I said before, I'm not here to make you all fall in love with hip-hop. But if after watching this presentation, you still think that hip-hop is a negative culture, then you haven't really been listening. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Lucas, for that really interesting talk on an art form that many people may have been misinformed about. So we hope you guys know a little bit more about it now.